The film begins in Buñol, Spain, during the Wild Tomatina Festival. In the middle of the chaos, a secret mission is underway, led by senior MI6 agent Noel Bisset and a joint MI6 CIA team. Their target is Viktor Gradov, a dangerous Russian arms dealer. Blending in with the crowd, the agents try to capture him, but Gradov is ready. He uses decoys and seems to know exactly where the cameras are, throwing the team off. With no facial ID match, Bisset requests a brief 1-minute link to Echelon, the global surveillance system. But before they can act, Gradov's men launch a surprise attack, taking out the agents one by one. As Bisset fights back, the attackers breach Echelon. Moments later, she is shot and goes down. Meanwhile, Sam Clarke, Prime Minister of Britain, receives a state visit from the newly elected United States President Will Derringer, a former action movie star. The two men do not get along, and a public argument breaks out in front of the press, after which their respective aides, Quincy and Bradshaw, suggest that they fly to the upcoming NATO summit in Trieste together, aboard Air Force One, to present a united front to the world. Clarke and Derringer reluctantly agree. During the flight to Trieste, tensions between Clarke and Derringer continue to rise. As they argue, an infiltrator disguised as a crew member quietly takes control of the plane's control room. He kills the agents on duty and disables the stealth systems and communications. Moments later, a mysterious aircraft bursts through the clouds and fires a wave of missiles. Air Force One launches flares and returns fire, but it's quickly overwhelmed. One engine is blown out, and a missile rips a hole in the fuselage. A Secret Service agent rushes Clarke and Derringer to the back of the plane. When the second engine explodes and the infiltrator sets fire to the emergency parachutes before jumping out, the agent manages to save two. He quickly straps the parachutes on to Clarke and Derringer and tells them to head to a safe house in Poland. They beg him to come too, but he pushes them out just as the plane begins to fall apart. News soon spreads worldwide. Air Force One has been shot down over western Belarus, and both Clarke and Derringer are presumed dead. Meanwhile, the two leaders land safely in a dense forest. Suspecting an insider leak that led Gradov to them, Clarke destroys their phones when Derringer tries to call his wife. As they trek through the wilderness, they spot the smoldering wreckage of the aircraft, realizing that this may have only been the beginning. Back in Trieste, Italy, Vice President Elizabeth Kirk steps in for the missing president and uses biometric verification to authorize an Echelon system update, effectively rebooting global surveillance access. Elsewhere, in the Côte d'Azur, France, Gradov's top hacker Arthur Hammond breaks into the Echelon network, seizing full control of the world's most powerful surveillance system. Back in Belarus, Clarke and Derringer stumble upon a small village, where a group of rowdy young thugs are hanging out, drinking, dancing, and blasting music. Derringer suggests asking them for help, but Clarke thinks it's too risky and insists they lay low and hotwire a nearby car instead. While trying to start the car, they're caught by the thugs. Derringer tries to calm things down by introducing himself, but they don't recognize him and one punches him in the face. A clumsy and chaotic fight breaks out, growing more dangerous as the thugs start grabbing sharp objects to use as weapons. Just as the fight is about to get dangerous, a nearby woman fires a warning shot into the air, scaring the thugs away. She agrees to help Clarke and Derringer cross the border into Poland, hiding them in the back of her truck filled with sheep. After arriving safely in Warsaw, the two thank her sincerely. Smiling, she reveals she knows who they really are and wishes them luck before driving away. The two men head to a CIA safe house in the city, where they're met by CIA officer Marty Comer. Comer briefs them on the growing crisis. The Echelon system has been fully compromised. Sensitive national security files are being leaked online, exposing years of covert NATO operations, including espionage, economic manipulation, and interference in foreign elections. Meanwhile, Hammond found Clarke and Derringer's location through a surveillance camera feed. Once confirmed, Gradov dispatches a kill team led by his top assassins, Sasha and Olga, to eliminate them. The team storms the CIA safe house. Inside, CIA officer Marty Comer quickly leads Clarke and Derringer to an armory stocked with weapons and prepares to defend the site. Moments later, a massive explosion blasts through the front entrance, shaking the entire building. Using the building's security cameras to his advantage, Comer ambushes the attackers from behind a wall, expertly taking down several of them with a shotgun. However, Olga spots and destroys the surveillance camera. Comer retreats but is soon shot during the crossfire. As Sasha and Olga close in, Comer urges Clarke and Derringer to escape through a hidden emergency elevator. Pulling the pin from a grenade, he prepares to sacrifice himself to stop the assassins. But after the two leaders escape, Sasha manages to disarm the grenade and Olga finishes Comer off with a final shot. As Clarke and Derringer exit the elevator, they're immediately surrounded by more of Gradov's men. Just when it looks like it's over, a police car crashes into the mercenaries, driven by Bisset, alive and well. She reveals she survived the ambush in Spain thanks to a bulletproof vest, and has been tracking Gradov ever since. She rigs the car and safe house to explode, taking out most of the attackers. But Sasha and Olga manage to survive the blast. After regrouping, Bisset tells Clarke and Derringer that the NATO summit is in chaos. As they discuss the situation, Clarke points out that the level of access Gradov had suggests an inside job. Derringer starts to suspect Clarke's aide, Quincy, the one who originally suggested they both fly on Air Force One. The three of them make their way toward the NATO summit in Italy by train. Along the journey, Derringer discovers that Clarke and Bisset once were romantically involved before Clarke chose to pursue political office. Their trip is interrupted when another of Gradov's assassins attacks. But before the assassin can complete the hit, Hammond intervenes. Tired of being used, Hammond kills the attacker but suffers fatal injuries in the process. With his dying breath, he tells them to head to his old office in Zadar, Croatia, where they'll find evidence of the traitor who betrayed them. Bisset suggests calling for backup, but Derringer refuses, believing that high-level contacts may already be compromised. Clarke agrees, warning that if they show themselves now, the cover-up will begin and they'll lose their only chance to find the truth. When they learn more of Gradov's men are waiting at the next station, they decide to jump off the moving train. After hot-wiring a car, they arrive at Hammond's old office in a building in Zadar. The secured terminal they need is located on the 5th floor. As they begin accessing it, Gradov's mercenaries close in. Luckily, a hidden stash of weapons gives them a fighting chance. While Bisset and Derringer work to extract the data, Clarke holds the staircase, taking down most of the attackers. From the old chat logs, Bisset discovers the traitor's identity, Simone Bradshaw, Derringer's own aide. Suddenly, a helicopter hooks onto the terminal room with Bisset and Derringer still inside, leaving Clarke behind. From the chopper, Gradov fires a rocket launcher into the building, causing a massive explosion, leaving Clarke presumed dead. Meanwhile, Bisset and Derringer leap to a nearby rooftop and make a bold escape by boat. Thinking Clarke and Derringer are dead, Gradov calls his insider to confirm the mission's success. But unexpectedly, two of his own assassins, secretly paid by the insider, turn on him. Gradov, however, quickly overpowers and kills them both, proving he's far from finished. Derringer and Bisset arrive at the port of Trieste and call Vice President Kirk for a pickup. But instead, Gradov's assassins show up, sent by Kirk. They realize Kirk is the real traitor and Bradshaw was just a distraction. Bisset and Derringer fight off the assassins and take the car. During the chase, Clarke suddenly jumps into the limo, alive and battered. He survived the blast in Croatia and drove to Italy in a stolen fire truck. As the pursuit continues, chaos erupts. Olga attempts to use a grenade launcher, but accidentally detonates it, killing herself in the process. The three race to the summit just in time to prevent the unraveling of NATO, orchestrated by Kirk. Inside, Derringer publicly confronts Kirk, but before she can be arrested or confess, she is abruptly shot and killed by Gradov, who storms the summit with his remaining assassins. A brutal fight breaks out. Bisset battles Sasha, but he gains the upper hand and traps her in a rear naked choke. In a last-ditch move, she throws herself and Sasha down a staircase, landing on top of him and killing him in the fall. Meanwhile, Clarke and Derringer pursue Gradov, cornering him in a room. Out of bullets, they find themselves defenseless as Gradov aims a spear gun at them and heads for a helicopter escape. Clarke charges at him and is shot in the chest, giving Derringer an opening. He grabs a Cupid statue and throws it into the helicopter's engine. The helicopter malfunctions and crashes in a fiery explosion, killing Gradov for good. 2 months later, the relationships within NATO have been repaired, and Clarke and Derringer have become close friends. In a post-credit scene, Comer is revealed to have survived the attack in Warsaw due to a metal plate in his head, and is approached by Bisset while attempting to pick up women at a bar.
If you enjoyed this video, don't be shy to hit the like button, and if you disliked it, hit the dislike button twice just to be sure. It would be best if you watched the whole movie. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe for more videos like this.